So there's a very significant wealth transfer taking place right underneath our nose that many only want us to know enough about it to participate on the level that they want us to participate. Many of us have been looking for opportunities to rebound from what seems to be a financial crisis every 5 to 10 years, looking for the financial upswing and being in position to catch it. That is what is going on right now. We're witnessing the slow but very, very real transition from white collar work back to blue collar trades work. What that basically means is a lot of money, value, and opportunities are going to be piling into basically skilled labor in the coming 5 to 10 years. There's a tremendous amount of job opportunities, a tremendous amount of business opportunities, and a significant number of investment opportunities opening up around the insane demand for skilled labor and the reinvestment and refocus on domestic infrastructure work. So basically to say that the United States is increasingly in a position where the offshoring and outsourcing of labor and productive labor that has gone on for about 3 or 4 strong decades now, maybe since the 80s, 90s, there was a huge push to push a lot of productive blue collar and skilled work out to these cheaper labor forces. And now the United States is in a situation where it's running out of friends and the economic landscape around the world has changed. And it now, for the sake of national security, now for the sake of domestic production, economic growth, etc., there has to be a focus on bringing these job opportunities, business opportunities, production opportunities back home. And that is now staring us in the face in the United States, which creates an amazing opportunity for those of us who are in position and take advantage of it. Because what that basically means is those of us that are in a position to adjust our job skills around these trade skills, or that may already be there. And for those of us who have the acumen to find the business opportunities, when you talk about the gold rush, for instance, everybody thinks about the actual gold that was retrieved from that time. Not a lot of people are spending a lot of time and energy looking at the money that was made by the businesses that supported the gold rush. So you hear examples of people who produced the shovels, the axe picks, and all these different tools and resources that were needed while gold mining was taking place. That is the same type of opportunity that could be available with the coming shift to skilled labor. The economic and financial potential to shift entire communities if everybody gets in appropriate position. Again, there's a huge demand opening up for trade skill work. There's going to be a ton of business opportunities that open up for trade skill work. And then there's going to be investment opportunities because there's going to be a demand for companies that will be well positioned to try to meet those various demands. So there's going to be 3 layers of this wealth transfer that'll be taking place. For those of you joining the live stream, coming in fresh, make sure you leave a like. Let me know in the chat you're in the building. So I want to go over a few data points real quick and some highlights to give you context around what I'm talking about really quickly. There's a soaring demand for skilled trade workers in the US, and it's driven by retiring baby boomers, significant infrastructure and clean energy investments, a growing shortage of qualified workers. This has led to a record high pressure on employers, increased wages for skilled trades, and widening skill gaps despite rising interest in these fields. The situation creates numerous job opportunities with high demand across construction, manufacturing, and other related sectors. So the key drivers around this entire shift are very real and very natural. Aging workforce. So the baby boomer generation is aging out of the workforce, just like they're aging out of small businesses, and there's a huge growth going on there. It's a different conversation to some extent. A large number of skilled trades people, particularly baby boomers, are retiring, and there are not enough new workers entering the field to replace them. Infrastructure and investment. Federal initiatives, private sector investment in infrastructure, clean energy, and other areas are creating a surge in demand for skilled trades, especially in construction, electrical work, and manufacturing. Skills gap. A persistent shortage of qualified workers exists because fewer people are entering trades, which we're going to talk about that in a second. A trend exacerbated by a cultural bias towards 4-year degrees over vocational training. Let's talk about that for just a second. First off, let's be honest about the fact that the system offshored a lot of that work and thus ruined the demand for these skills and took this stuff out of school. I was born in the late 80s, to date myself. I was one of the last generations where you could potentially see trade-related skills in a normal public school or vocational schools being more prominent and popular. My first line of work was plumbing. Other than a couple of jobs that I worked for, my first consistent line of work for a couple years was plumbing. So that was something that was a standard for many of us coming up in that era and eras prior. It's only been in the recent generation or so that vocational work, skilled labor, and all of that fell to the back burner. So let's be clear about that. So, hey, Kaya, or Kaya. So let's just put some context on that. Economic factors, supply chain reshoring, just talked about the offshoring part, supply chain reshoring, and the need to keep systems running smoothly to contribute to the demand for skilled labor. It's a big point. United States, New Orleans to be exact, in the United States. The impact on the labor market. So how is this going to impact the job market? Where are the opportunities going to be? High wages. So to attract and retain talent, many companies are significantly increasing wages. That's a plus, right? Average wage growth in skilled trades is now often outpacing that of white-collar jobs. Hello, is that ringing a bell? Is that sounding off anything yet? For the first time in God knows how many years or decades, you can go get a trade skill in 6 months to a year with a fraction of the college debt and come out with potentially a better income and a better, income potential than somebody with a 4-year degree. Is that not ringing a bell yet? Record number of vacancies. There are currently over 1 million unfilled trade jobs with a projected shortage continuing for years to come. So we have immigrants being pushed out of the country and slowed down and coming into the country, which has filled a large portion of the labor gap. And now you're looking to bring on more domestic investment in infrastructure and other initiatives when you have a massive labor shortage. If that don't spell opportunity for you, I don't know what does. United States. So increased interest. The strong job outlook and higher pay have led to increased enrollment in trade and technical programs at colleges. Need for adaptation. Employers are being forced to rethink their recruitment and retention strategies to meet the high demand. This is an opportunity for not only income, but other benefits. There's a ton of opportunity. Pay attention to this. So let's talk about what those high demand trades are before we get into the business side of this and the investment side of this. Construction and building trades, electricians, plumbers, welders, HVAC technicians, manufacturing and logistics roles, renewable energy technicians. These are crucial areas where there's a significantly high demand for work, and there's going to be a tremendous opportunity for many of us to fill those trade skill gaps. And now, let's transition over to the other side of this wealth transfer. There's going to be business opportunities around this. How? Every single one of those trades, you can self-employ yourself. That's number one. Every single one of the trades that I just named, electricians, plumbers, construction, renewable energy, HVAC work, all of that, I know I help these clients every day. Some of my top clients or most persistent business clients that I work with are in trades by chance. I know firsthand that you can go to full self-employment or even incorporate yourself as a tradesman. That's where the real money opportunities start to come in. You can make a tremendous living as a W-2 worker, as a tradesman. And I encourage it for many of us. A lot of our youth's problem is there's no real work out here. Without you having to go to college for it. So this is an opportunity to bring a resurgence to lower and middle class America. Many of us that have people who didn't go to college or didn't finish college or got finished college but didn't get degrees that are really promising. Reskilling yourself in 6 months, year and a half to a trade skill that can come out of the gate making upper 5 to 6 figures and bridge you right into self-employment seamlessly. Very, very powerful opportunity. So that's the number one business opportunity, is you're just going to simply be able to self-employ yourself as a skilled tradesman. The next opportunity, as demand for skilled trades skyrockets, opportunities will arise in specialized training and staffing, technology integrations in trades, and support services for tradespeople. Businesses can also start new ventures in high growth sectors like renewable energies, advanced manufacturing, and expand existing ones that support the trade industry, such as specialized tool and equipment suppliers. So let's look into this a little further. Training and staffing, trade schools and certification programs, business opportunity. Staffing and recruitment agencies, business opportunity. Mobile training and apprenticeships, business opportunity. Technology and integration in trades, AI and robotics integration, smart home and building technologies. This is an investment opportunity, not just a business opportunity, because there's going to be well-positioned companies already dominating in these arenas. So you just want to own a piece of those pies. Support services and supplies, specialized tool and equipment, and logistics and supply chains. Again, business / investment opportunities. Tremendous opportunities for those of us who are paying attention to invest in the companies that are already positioned here, and then find small market opportunities for us to get into business-wise in these specific sectors or portions of this sector. High growth sectors. Pay attention to high growth sectors, because what does that mean? There's going to be high growth investment opportunities. Renewable energy, advanced manufacturing, infrastructure, and development. These are going to be 3 key high growth areas. So what does that mean? Can you think of any renewable energy companies that are worth investing in? Can you find them? What about advanced manufacturing, infrastructure, development? There's companies that already exist doing this stuff. So versus you going out and reinventing the wheel, which for some of you, I think is a great idea. If you already have skill sets, trades, you're already in business and have infrastructure already, take advantage of the business opportunities. But those of you who are looking at this saying, man, a lot of this is over my head. How do I get in on this as the everyday person? For one, consider getting your trade skills in place. If you're already in a field that's established or you have no interest in being a tradesman, then you need to find the business opportunities and get on as a business owner or at least an investor with other businesses that are going to take advantage of this, because they're out there and they're not all enormous. There's going to be mom and pop size business opportunities that you can at least get in with some of your capital as an investor. The next thing is going to be getting in the stock market side of things and riding the wave of companies that are going to be behind the AI and robotics, that are already in the logistics and infrastructure development, that are already in the equipment and tool space. These companies are going to be positioned to do relatively well, generally speaking. There's economic cycles, there's systemic risk, there's different things that can affect the investment opportunity. I'm not telling you this is black and white and simple. Like anything, you have to do your due diligence. The point of this live stream is to set the alarm bells off for those of us that have been around long enough to know that these opportunities come and go before we even know they exist. We're in the information age now where prior to the gold rush, we're getting notifications that this is coming. Trades work is going to be tremendous in the next 5 to 7 to 10 years. Find your opportunity to get in as a tradesman. Find your opportunity to develop a business that supports the work or gets around the high growth sectors, and find companies to invest in directly with, companies that may be in your backyard that are getting into this stuff. Or you can buy businesses that might be for sale that are already in this stuff. Baby boomers are putting up businesses for sale like crazy right now. And they come from this era where trades work was the natural order. So there's a ton of businesses that are plumbing companies, HVAC companies, electrical companies, construction related companies. You can buy them and get someone else to manage them. I know that it's not that easy, but it's simple. The next thing you can do is invest in companies that are positioned in the stock market. So you can find companies that are in the resource sector, because this is going to require a lot of resources, metals, minerals, other natural gases, energy sector, renewables. These things are going to be hot, generally speaking, especially if interest rates come down. This is the opportunity to look now and do the data and research while there's a little bit of time left to position yourself to get in on this. Get in as a tradesperson, and then self-employ yourself as fast as you can. Work a W-2, get your feet underneath you, As soon as the opportunity opens up, you got the skills, you got the certifications, and you got the clientele or ability to get your hands on the clientele, get your ass out there and self-employ yourself as soon as possible. Find businesses that are supporting the trades work in the high growth industries and the infrastructure work. Work towards government contracts. There's going to be a ton of public sector investment and infrastructure work popping up all over the country because a lot of the infrastructure in this country is dated as hell. So this opportunity is going to be huge. And for the first time in the foreseeable few years, at least with this current administration, there will not be a large influx of foreign workers coming in to fill these jobs. It's a perfect time to get your feet set and plan it before somebody else comes in and takes your seat at the table. I hope this makes sense. Comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. How do you feel about this opportunity? Have you seen social media posts and articles about this? How do you plan to position yourself? Are you already in trades work? Do you plan to get trade certified? Do you plan to get in the business side? Do you plan to invest? Let me know how you plan to take advantage of this opportunity. I wanted to shoot this live stream early because the rest of my evening is hectic, and this is one I always want to keep the show rolling, of course, but this is a big one. This is a huge opportunity. A lot of my live streams are touching on the problems in our society, in our community, in this country, economically, financially. This is a live stream talking about huge opportunity and a very genuine one. Get your hands on the capital you need. Get your hands on banking relationships that are going to lead to helping you to set up the business entities, capitalize those businesses, and go out and expand autonomously as a self-employed or even self-incorporated business entity as a trades worker. You can set the business up and hire the trades worker and contract. There's so many opportunities out there. If you're not already in position, take the little bit of time left before this rush really kicks in to do the research, do the due diligence, and position yourself. I'm telling you, there's a ton of opportunity out there. So comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. Shout out to everybody that dipped into the live stream briefly. And shout out to everybody catching the replay. This one is short enough. Hopefully more of y'all tune into the replays for you to get the value of this live stream. Comment down below and let me know if you want a deeper dive second segment to this live stream. I don't mind doing so because there's so much more to cover. I may even do one around the access to capital part, the investment side, the banking financial side of this. So let me know if you're interested in that down below. Drop in the description down below if you want to tie in with me on Instagram. And if you're interested in working with me one-to-one as a business banker, as a licensed FINRA investment specialist, as a licensed mortgage loan originator, etc. If you're looking to get into the banking sector and figure out how to better financially position yourself around your banking, to build your credit, access capital, get a home loan or mortgage, invest in real estate and get capital for that, these are all areas I specialize in. Get in the description down below, or excuse me, in the comment section down below, or get it in the description and check out the link down below to work with me one-to-one. Other than that, like, comment, share, subscribe, support the video, support the live stream and the video so this channel can continue to reinvest and support you. Other than that, I want each of my pioneers, I want you to know you're welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. I want each of you to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.